on the well-established plantations.
So like I said, this was the Civil War. They go to South and all the South countries, they were fighting, South states, they were fighting against the North states. The North wanted to free, and the South wanted to keep them because they wanted to have slaves. They wanted to keep having workers, right? Okay. Now, here's the thing with America. I told you, if you go back generations, your grandparents is both from the South, South Carolina. Your grandfather, people was from Mississippi. And if you go back about 5 generations, they were all slaves. My great-grandfather was born into the end of slavery. Like, it still was bad. So even though they didn't say they had slavery, they still had it. But listen, this is the thing that you really got to remember. Even though they had the Civil War, Bailee, and they fought and they freed the slaves, we still wasn't free. But the biggest thing is this. We're at 2021. You had people who had 400 years of getting ahead of us. Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah, I kind of understand.
What do you, when I say 400 years of getting ahead of, what do you think I'm saying?
I think you're saying that. Okay, I don't.
No, you understand. Okay, so look, let me show you. You understand that was Africa when we had the thing earlier, right? Okay, look. This is what I mean by this. If you got 1700, 1800, 1900, 2000s, right? Matter of fact, we can go back 1600 because somewhere in there. So if you had all these different years, and then let's say around this time frame, people were slaves and they were captured. Look, right here, they're building America. They had free labor because they had people in slaves for all those years. So that means they built railroads, land, commodities. Commodities is like cotton, wool. But listen what I'm saying to you, because it's very important. If people had all these years of free labor, that means that their family was able to make what we fight for all the time now. They were able to make money, which is generational wealth. So if they had free labor for all these years and now they finally let people not be slaves no more, we are behind. We're behind like 400 years.
400 years?
Listen what I'm saying to you. They've been making money freely for 400 years. So we're behind 400 years. That's why I be teaching you Spanish and everything, because I want you to learn more than what the average person is learning. That's the biggest thing about slavery. We're behind. We don't own anything. Because they set everything up, because they got it all free for slavery. Let's say I had you working for me for 10 years and you was making these, right? These golf things.
Yeah, I think golf.
Listen, I want you to pay attention. Let's say you was making these for 10 years for me and I was selling them for $2. But you're a slave. So you're working for me for 10 years. In 10 years, you make me, let's say you make me 5,000 of these, right? 5,000 of these things right here in 10 years. And I sell them for $2. That means I just made $10,000, but I didn't have to give you nothing. So now I have 10 years ahead for free of you. So now I have $10,000. That's what free labor is. You were working, they were working for free. So everybody was able to make money except for us. So they could build railroads. They can build all the big companies. All the big companies are owned by white money because they had slaves for the most part. Not every single one, because now we got Facebook and other things, Microsoft. But railroads, all these big companies out here was owned by people because they were slave owners. It wasn't our choice. So we wasn't in the money game. And that's why I'll be teaching you about assets and
liabilities.
Let's say this is the car lot. There goes a truck, and there goes the car. I buy the car for $12,000. Here go my money. Here you go. I buy it. I take it off the lot. It just lost value. Say it depreciates $4,000. You just lost money. Right, Bailee? You just lost money. Now, let's say I went and bought the truck. Let's say I bought the truck was $45,000. That's way more than this, right? Way more than the car. right?
Right.
Okay. But here you go, and I buy the truck.
I see.
The truck doesn't depreciate like this, and I can put it to work. The truck is now going to be going around picking stuff up and dropping it back off, and now it's going to make me money. It'll make me probably $12,000 in 1 month. Look, the truck that I spent $45,000 for. Look up here. The truck that I spent $45,000 for, well, in a month can make me $12,000. That's why this is an asset and that's a liability. What are you reading?
Reading Black Indians.
Black Indians. That's good.